Have you ever been to a bar, a club, or a restaurant and the people around you were smoking and it just made you want to leave? Well, the smokers probably won't raise their hand to this one. But for people like me who don't smoke, it's a major deal breaker. I mean, I spend all that time doing my hair, getting a cute outfit, just to come home at the end of the night smelling like smoke. Not good. Not good at all. So, today I want to try to persuade you into banning smoking in all public places within the United States. Now, we already have some states that have already implemented this, and that's a good thing. We're just trying to get the rest of the states to jump on the bandwagon and do the same. In doing this, it would probably either eliminate or help decrease some of the personal health risks that we see for the smokers, the personal health risks for the secondhand smokers, and probably eliminate or decrease some of the bad habits that we see due to the people who actually smoke. So first, I want to talk a little bit about the personal health risks to the actual smokers. Now, most of the smokers, they don't really pay attention to this stuff because, of course, if it's a habit that you have, you're not really too concerned about the health risks, or maybe you are, but if you're still doing it, to some extent, you really don't care. But in doing some of my research, I ran across an article by Terry Martin. And in her article, she wrote, cigarette smoke contains over 4,000 chemical compounds, 200 of which are known to be poisonous, and of that 200, 60 have been identified as carcinogens. Carcinogens are just substances that cause cancer. So, with that being said, you would think that most people would think twice about it. But, I mean, there's like so many commercials out there about smoking and cigarettes and all that stuff. So it's kind of like something that you have to think of on your own. And with these personal health risks, you would think that they would take the time to stop smoking, but sometimes that's not the case. And with all these substances that are cancerous comes along these diseases. And most people think that probably lung cancer is one of the major diseases that you can get from smoking, but that's not the only thing that you can get from smoking. She also stated that smoking is hard on the heart, but the fact is tobacco use plays a role in a multitude of diseases that ultimately leads to disability and or death. Some of the major diseases that you can get from this is heart disease, liver cancer, kidney cancer, or stomach cancer. And those are just to name a few. The list goes on and on. Pretty much anything that the smoke touches in your body can lead to some type of cancer or disease. Moving along, I mean, most smokers, they think about, their health effects maybe sometimes, but secondhand smokers also have a lot to do with what's going on. I mean, yes, they have a choice whether or not they want to be around the smoke and, who they hang out with and stuff like that. But when smokers are in these public areas and they're smoking around people who don't smoke, the secondhand smoke can cause as big of an effect as it does on the actual smoker. And a lady named Melissa Stoppler, who wrote Secondhand Smoke, actually stated in her article, when a non-smoker inhales secondhand smoke, he or she is exposed to the same toxins and chemicals as the smoker. So basically, when it comes to this, you can basically say that the people who aren't smoking are smoking because they're getting the same thing. So as long as you're around it, you're basically exposing yourself to the same stuff as the actual smoker is. She also stated that at least 250 harmful chemicals have been identified in secondhand smoke, including at least 50 carcinogens. So you are basically exposing yourself to the same stuff as the smoker. So there's really no point. You're basically going to end up with some of the same diseases that the smokers have. So instead of putting these people in this type of situation, it would be best if split it up completely and not have smokers smoke in these public areas. That way, people don't have to pick and choose where they want to go. Next, I want to talk a little bit about some of the bad habits. Now, you might think bad habits might be a little personal, but some of the bad habits do have a lot to do with it. I mean, most smokers, they have a habit of throwing their cigarette butts wherever they feel like it, out their car windows or on the ground, wherever. But my concern mostly is like when they're smoking in places like parks and stuff like that, throwing their cigarette butts on the ground at the park while children are around. Now, for one, if you're smoking at a park, there's children around most of the time, so you throwing your cigarette butts on the ground, you're basically showing the kids that, hey, it's okay to just throw your trash wherever you feel like it, when it's not. We teach our children to throw trash in the trash can. So instead of being lazy, people who smoke should take the time to find a trash can and throw their cigarette butts in the trash. Plus, they shouldn't really be smoking at a park because children are around. And most kids, they're not going to sit there and say, hey, sir, or hey, ma'am, can you stop smoking? Because, there are kids out here and we can inhale these same fumes and substances that we know nothing about. Because, of course, kids at that age, they don't know anything about that. But instead of putting them in that situation, it should be best if just eliminate it altogether. The bad habits will go away, the smoking will go away, and people who don't smoke won't have to worry about that. So in conclusion, today I talked to you a little bit about some of the personal health risks of the actual smokers and the personal health risks of the people who don't smoke. And also some of the, a few of the bad habits that are caused due to some of the smokers out there. But overall, the main point that I want to hit home is that smoking should be banned in all places within the United States. People have a choice of where they want to go to when they, go out and spend their time. To give everybody an equal chance, it would be best if we just ban smoking in public areas completely. Smoking is one of those things that can affect others. Now, people who smoke, they can harm other people. People who drink, that's up to you. If it's a habit or whatever, you're only affecting yourself. But smokers, they affect themselves and the people around them. So in order to give everybody a fighting chance, it would be best if we just ban smoking in all public areas. So that's my spiel on that, and hopefully you take my side on this and help ban smoking in all public areas. Thank you.